pain. What a pain. It looks terrible. We got to move this back a little bit. Hold on. All right. Looks like people are filling in here. Hello, Dave and Sparkster here. We made it. Now this should work. This should work because I have backup if the Wi-Fi goes out. Wow, this has been a pain. And see, I had graphics all ready for you guys. I had graphics set up. I had pictures of the ASAB reveals I was going to show. Hello, Jeff. Hello, Woodman. Thank you, Comic Tropes. That does somewhat make up for my difficulties. Thank you very much. Hello, Jamelin and Sergeant Slaughterhouse. Wow, this is a real professional operation, you can tell. Hey, it's Codename Vera 2. Nice to see you. Hello, Sal and Gaz. Yes, I'm back. So, yeah, thank you, everyone, for making the jump over here after the disaster the other one was. I don't think I can show your live chats on screen on this like I can on the other one. CDJ, ACDC, and Sparkster, and Space Cobra, Beta Ray Bob. Thank you, everyone. Even though I can't show you graphics, hello, Mike Layton. Even though I can't show you graphics and images from the HasLab reveals, we can still talk about them. Okay, still talk about them. You've probably seen them. Hello, Jose. Yes, no more shenanigans. I'll do my best. I'll do my best. We're off to a great start. It's the best ever. Best ever. So I wasn't even able to get I was just trying to get the housekeeping stuff so we can talk about the actual substantive stuff, right? So I mentioned the Patreon, I mentioned GoFundMe, I mentioned Timber, I mentioned Codename Mewtwo02. What else? I think that's it. Let's move on. Before this screws up again, move forward. Let's move forward. One bit of GI Joe news that we should probably talk about is IDW losing the license to GI Joe and Transformers. So again, this is something that everybody's already talked about, but we haven't got it yet. So don't know where that license to go yet. Don't know what's going to become of the Larry Hama title. Just don't know. We don't know anything yet. But I don't know. I'm trying to be optimistic here. Maybe this opportunity to refresh the brand. Comic Trope says ends up with Robert Kirkman. Very well may be, and that has been floated around as a possibility, and that's very much a possibility. And maybe it's not a thing. Maybe it is an opportunity to refresh the brand a little bit. Transformers is probably the big money title for whoever that license. The license will probably have to take both and have both. And, given that Hasbro's attempt to promote New G.I. Joe through the Snake Eyes movie of flopped, comic books is relatively inexpensive means to continue to keep G.I. Joe in public and just keep something out there, especially if they're trying to now rework exactly what they're going to do with the G.I. Joe brand. So I think they keep a comic book going. It just makes sense that they would. As whether Larry will continue, I don't know. I don't know that he wants to continue. He may not want to continue. He doesn't. Yeah, my camera is hilarious. It tells the best jokes. If Larry doesn't want to continue, well, first of all, if Larry does want to continue, I hope that he's able to continue. I want to be able to continue. But if he doesn't, my hope would be that he would be able to wrap up the series in his way, wrap up the series in a way that he's happy with, in a way that he was able to do with Marvel. Hello, Heavy. Thank you for joining. Um, so that's my hope. Obviously, if he wants to continue doing it, I hope he can continue doing it. But I mean, I could see the possibility that he might prefer to, to wrap it up. You know, he didn't get that chance at Marvel. At Marvel, um, he kind of had the rug pulled out from under him. The series was canceled without the opportunity to tie up loose ends. So, yeah, I think I think that would be nice. And if this is not the occasion, if he's not ready to go yet, at some point in the future, I do hope that he has that chance. I just don't want to. I just don't want it to be taken out from under him without having the chance to finish it. I want him to be able to finish it his way. So, knock on wood, he'll have the chance to do that. So that's a bit of GI Joe news. It's not necessarily good news, but it's not necessarily bad news either. It's probably bad news for IDW, but it's not necessarily bad news for GI Joe and Transformers. It may in fact be great news. It may be going to another publisher who will have fresh ideas of what to do with it. So that's not necessarily bad. Hello, Cinephile. Thanks for joining. Hello, Jake. And anyone else that I missed, thank you for joining. So let's talk. Let's talk about the HasLab GI Joe reveals for 2022. Who we got? Jay, I'm late coming in. Yeah. Well, it's actually a good thing that you're late because the start of the live stream was a complete mess, a complete disaster, which is why we're doing it in this different format than we usually do it. Hello, Matt. Thank you for joining. Okay, so let's talk about these reveals. Yes, Tomax and Zaymot, but not in that order. They actually announced them in reverse order. Clever. So right off the bat, HasLab on Fan First Friday announced a classified series Zaymot. Other than the slash is removable and he has the scar. Oh, thank you, Josiah. Yo, believe me, I appreciate it greatly. Thank you for your tolerance this evening. Thank you very much. So we got Zaymot announced first, and then we got Tomax announced directly after that. So these are in the classified series. So these are 6-inch figures. There we go. These are 6-inch figures, and Tomax has a little bit of a different facial expression. He's got kind of a smirk on his face. The parts that they use are not necessarily interchangeable. They are mirrored, so that's kind of cool. That requires extra effort and extra tooling to actually mold mirrored parts for each figure. So that's nice. But what they didn't say for sure is whether these will come in a 2-pack. Will they come packaged together? I think they should. I don't think there are very many collectors that are going to want one but not the other. And if you don't package them together, inevitably you're gonna find one but not the other, and you're gonna be stuck with half of the twins. Some people will not be able to get both of them. So just put them together. Just package them together. You already have a couple other multi-packs, so why not just make them a 2-pack? That is my... Comic Tropes only collects Zaymot. See, so what Comic Tropes could do is buy the 2-pack, pull Zaymot out, put Tomax on eBay, problem solved. So those were the first two reveals. And I should point out that they did not have figures in hand. They only had digital renders. The fact that they were using digital renders raises some questions about a couple things, and I will get to that. And this is where, if I had my regular presentation, I would be popping images up on the screen. You just imagine the. Oh, here, hold on. I'll draw it for you. Hold on. You know what? We improvise. We improvise. Here we go. Let's see. Yeah, there's Tomax and Zaymont. You see, there's the scar. So just imagine this is the digital renders popping up on your screen right now. The next reveal was one close to my heart, and that is Stalker. They are doing a classified Stalker. There is one thing that's very surprising about this, and that is they are using the name Stalker. I guess we shouldn't be too surprised because they did recently release a retro Stalker, so they are still using the name Stalker, even though it's a little bit uncomfortable calling a figure Stalker nowadays, and I get that, I get it, but apparently Hasbro thinks it's fine, so they're like, yeah, we're just gonna call this guy Stalker. What you gonna do? So the digital render that they put up had Stalker wearing like a dark camouflage uniform and a scarf. The scarf made it difficult to see a lot of the details on the chest. A lot of it was covered up by the scarf, so it's hard to know exactly what the chest and the torso completely looks like. The color scheme is also really dark, like it is a dark camouflage color. And they did mention that this is a new military body. They are apparently using a new body for Stalker. At least that's what they mentioned. And so I think that's good. Even though they obviously they could reuse parts for this guy. I am happy that they are adding new parts. They are creating new parts. And expanding the parts library that they can use on other figures. Also, they didn't have the accessories. They didn't have any of the accessories for any of these guys, but they did mention that Stalker's accessories will have some callbacks to the vintage. I said so. I'm assuming that he'll get his machine gun. That's it. Well, if you count the scarf, besides the scarf, he needs a submachine gun and he needs a kayak. Let's make it happen, Hasbro. Kayak. I'm intrigued to see Stalker. I want to see the figure, and obviously I'm going to get it. I can't not get Stalker, my favorite guy. But I'm very curious what's with him. And as we have learned with other figures in the classifieds, if we are getting Stalker with an updated deco, chances are very high that we'll get in the future another Stalker that has more traditional vintage deco. So probably more of the light green and dark green camouflage, I will bet. I'm assuming. So that was the next reveal. Very intrigued about Stalker. Very interested in what series he comes with. They did say beret is removable. That's to be expected. In general, the berets have been removable so far. The next they announced may have been a little bit of a letdown for some people. It was the Baroness, a classified Baroness again, but with a new deco. And it has basically an all-black uniform. They said it has a new face print and new packaging. So I assume this will be on like a retro style packaging. So So just a recolor on the Baroness, and um, if you have Baroness already, and there have been a couple of releases of the Baroness already, including the movie, you just may not be interested in this figure. Now, if you were not able to get the earlier Baroness, then you're in luck because this is one that is very faithful to the um, hey, Vagon says, folks still got time for my art contest. So Vagon is running an art contest. But thanks for mentioning it, Vagon. So yeah, if this Baroness design is very close to the vintage figure. In fact, you says, hello from Serbia again. Hello, Serbia from the United States. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Hello, Serbia. So yeah, you're getting a figure. This is something that can be said about Tomax and Zaymot. They have updated designs of figures for classified very little. They are very close to the vintage designs, just scaled up. So if that's what you want, and some people really did want it. One of the big complaints that I heard early in the classified series is that, yeah, the new designs are nice. What we were wanting were figures based on the classic design, upscaled from the classic design. I keep more and more, yes, I agree, peg warmers. So if that was a complaint early in the series, well, you may view this as rectifying that issue by giving you very vintage inspired designs. If, however, you already have a Baroness, then there's not much new here. There's just not, and it may not be worth getting if you're satisfied with the one you already have. For Tomax and Zaymot, the first figure right out of the gate is almost one for one an upscale of the vintage figures. So after that, and keeping with the theme, they are reissuing Lady J with a new deco, in her 1985 colors, and most likely in retro packaging. And this is another one where it is basically a reissue of the figure that we already got with some other colors. Now, the colors they are using are very close to the 1985 figure. So again, if you want an upscaled 1985 J, you're going to get that. If you are not fond of the updated color palettes of the classified series, you're going to get vintage-inspired color of those same figures, it seems. Again, as with Baroness, if you already have the Lady J that they issued, the standard issue Lady J, you may not feel that you need a new Lady J with just different colors. So, I don't think there's any reason to be a completist on classified series, especially if some of the figures are like very, very similar. They're so similar that you feel that you just already have it already. And that's not the only figure in this announcement that is like that. We'll get to the other one. But in between announcements of classified figures, and Jake says, Lady J, a favorite female figure from the vintage toy line. I can see why she would. That's a really, really good design figure from 95. I like it a lot. I really do. If I had to choose, though, I think I may prefer the updated classified coloring, the darker green. I just think looks really good. So I'm not sure I will need an updated Lady J figure. I'll probably get it anyway because I would like to show it side by side with the previous release and just see all the differences. So I'll probably get it, but I don't know if I'll need it. I mean, I'll need it, but I don't know if I need it. So we'll see. But between announcements of G.I. Joe Classified Series figures, they moved to talking about O-ring figures. This is another thing that G.I. Joe fans have said they wanted. They want O-rings. When they announced the Walmart exclusive retro series, everybody assumed it would be O-ring figures, and it wasn't. And a bit of a stink was raised about that. They're working on that. So they've got a couple O-ring figures out there. They have more O-ring figures coming with the HasLab Sky Striker, and they seem to be expanding the O-ring series, the O-ring figures, because on Friday they announced a 2-pack O-ring troop builder. The first one being a Cobra officer, Cobra trooper. So a 2-pack troop builder with a Cobra officer and Cobra trooper as O-ring figures. Tony says no one is responding. I apologize. The chat is going by really fast, and I'm doing my best to keep up, but I'm not keeping up well. So I'm sorry about that. Probably several people have said that I have not able to respond to, so I apologize. I really do. So yeah, a 2-pack troop builder. Now the thing about a 2-pack troop builder is you got a trooper and an officer, and you can't really have the same number of officers as you have troopers. So like a couple troopers would be better, or 2 troopers and an officer. They did something similar to that on one of the later announcements. We'll get to that. What is the largest vehicle that could still be made at classified scale? Honestly, I don't think we will get anything larger than a Vamp. I think eventually we will get something in the Vamp scale. Anything larger than that would be prohibitively expensive, even with like a HasLab project. So even like a Hiss tank, I think, would be just too big in the classified scale. I don't think we're going to get anything that large. So the O-ring train continued with another announcement of a 2-pack. This one being Duke and Cobra Commander. Duke is inspired by his animated series coloring, so he has, the animated series colors and the red epaulets on the shoulders. It's fine, no problem. It seems like we will always get a Duke and even more Cobra Commanders. This is a face-plated Cobra Commander, and I'm very curious about something. This Cobra Commander is also in his animated series colors, or as close to the animated series as they could get it, but it was just a digital render, and this is what I'm talking about. Sometimes using the digital renders raised more questions than it answered, because while the other parts of the figure looked very close to vintage, the head looked a little different. So that raises the question, is it a new Cobra Commander head, or is it the old Cobra Commander head? I don't know. I think it's the old Cobra Commander head. I don't think they've done new tooling. I would be surprised if they did, but it's possible. It doesn't look like the vintage part in the digital render. So that's why I'm saying the digital render raises a couple of questions. If I were a betting man, though, I would bet that it is a reuse of the classic 82 Cobra Commander head. I don't think they remolded it, but it remains to be seen. We shall see. We shall see. But hey, this is something, and I have to credit Hasbro when credit is due. This is something where they have listened to fan feedback, fans very loudly and clearly. Um, See you, Michael. They very loud fans very loudly and clearly said they wanted O-ring figures, and we are starting to get O-ring figures, and they're starting to put out more of them. They're starting to push out more O-ring figures. Now, it's still not clear how many of the original molds they have, but that's why I'm looking to see if they put out anything that um, that's any different from anything that they've put out in recent years. Anything to indicate that they've retooled something, because retooling would be a significant investment in the future of the line. If they are investing money on new tooling, that means they're expecting this line to stay around and be profitable for a little while. But again, I don't know that they're doing that. If I were to guess, I would say they're probably not. But um, yeah, it remains to be seen. It remains to be seen. Yeah, well, we'll have to see. We will see. But yeah, that's just something I've got my eyes out on. It's like, are they reusing the tooling that they have, whatever they can scrap together, or are they creating something new? I don't know. But hopefully we will find out soon. So the next announcement was Destro Classified, another classified figure, another redeco. They're taking the classified Destro that we already had, a figure that most people really liked, by the way, and they are just changing the colors, just changing the deco, reducing the number of colors. So it is more close to the vintage figure. It's closer to the vintage figure, but somebody pointed out the eyebrows. That's the other main difference with this Destro figure from the original release, is that he has eyebrows on his helmet, which I assume somebody sharpied on that metal mask, like as a joke. Somebody got a hold of the mask, or when he was sleeping, somebody took a Sharpie and drew the eyebrows on. And of course, he can't see it because he's inside the mask. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about eyebrows Destro. I'm not sure about that one. Yeah, I get it. I know in the animated series he had an expressive face, even though he was wearing a metal mask. Somehow the metal face would move when he talked. I know. It's weird. But eyebrows. I don't know. Yeah, it's supposed to be more like the Sunbow look, but I don't know how well some of the Sunbow design would look if you translate those 6-inch action figures. I don't know. So they might not translate perfectly well. But again, you by any means missed out on the first Destro release. That was really missed out on that. I'm sorry. You should try to pick one of those up. If you missed out on that, shot at a recode Destro classified figure, and I assume these redecos are going to be on retro packaging. I know they're going to come out with some retro packaging for these guys. Herd Spirit is pushed back to September. I haven't heard that, but I hope not. I would like to see Spirit. That is a figure that I would really like to get hands on. It looks good. And that's another figure that is very, very full to the 1984 vintage original figure. So we have Destro, and we have yet another classified um, classified figure redeco, and that is Gung Ho. They are releasing Gung Ho in his 1983 colors, which means light blue, green camouflage, light blue vest. The hat is better. The hat looks more like a Marine Corps, cover. So the hat is definitely better than the previous Gung Ho figure. Vest is closer to the vintage figure as well. Don't know what the accessories are, but I assume he will still have his grenade launcher. The tattoo on the chest still is not the Marine Corps tattoo, but it's closer. It's a bit better. It's not. It's definitely better than the first release Gung Ho. A lot of people had a problem with the tattoo on the first Gung Ho release, and beyond just it not being the correct Merkle tattoo, I think the assumption is that the assumption is that they just can't use it for legal reasons. So if that's the case, then fine. If they can't use it, then they can't use it. Whatever. But besides that, the tattoo on the original didn't look right. It was not great. The new one seems to be a bit better, so again, more improvements. But you may again look at this as a figure that you already have, and you may not feel that you need it in a new color scheme. And that's totally understandable. I get the figure as, for the hat alone. I really did not like the hat on the Ho, the other classified. So, yeah, I'm making it just for that. Even besides just the change of the color scheme, the hat it's really nice. So there's that, and then there was one more release, and that is the Viper 3-pack. It is a 3-pack of classified Vipers. You get 2 troopers and an officer, and if you get a troop pack, you should have more troopers than officers. Excuse me, the officer. The officer has a slightly different coloration than the troopers. I believe the troopers are going to have a very slightly different coloration than the initial release. This, I think, is the one that a lot of people are looking forward to. They are facilitating troop building, which I know a lot of people want. This harks back to the 2006 Viper pit set. They did something like this for Ring Vipers in 2006. They released a 6-pack with a bunch of Vipers and 1 officer. So this is something that I know a lot of people are going to be going crazy for and are going to be really happy to get. I would probably get. I typically army build anything, but I would still like to see how they do the figures. I still would like to see them in hand and see what they look like, how they feel, and how they stack up to earlier releases. Yeah, I'm very curious. So that's the release. Somebody in the chat did point out something else that we want to talk about. Some additional Joe news. But before that, so those are the announcements. Let's run through them real quick again. We got Tomax, we got Stalker, Baroness, Lady J, Cobra Officer, and Cobra Trooper O-Ring 2-pack, Duke and Cobra Commander 2-pack, Classified Destro, Classified Gung Ho, and Viper 3-pack. So what do you guys think? Are these that are standouts for you? Are there any that you really don't need? Are there any that you're disappointed in? I have my opinions about them, but I'm really curious if you guys have thoughts. Yes, Gray Fox, I am talking about 3D Joe's very soon. I want to give everyone a chance to express thoughts they may have about um, the Hasbro Pulse announcements. Are any of these that you have to get? I mean, I think I have to get Sulfur. I have to. I mean, they're making a classified figure of my favorite guy. I mean, I can't not get him. I just hope that he looks good in hand. I really do. Um, Super 7 Snake Eyes in the wild really. Is it really that hard to come by? I don't think so. I've been told that the blue Snake Eyes Super 7 figure is showing up in numbers. People, I guess, thought it was going to be a chase figure. Apparently, it isn't. How much is it going to get all of them a completist? That is dedication. That is dedication. So one for the eyebrows. Hillbilly Prepper, the P.O. box, I cannot type it in now because of this setup, but look at the P.O. box unboxing video. You should find it. Am I breaking up again? I shouldn't be. This says signal is good. So sorry if I'm breaking up. I apologize. Before I completely break up and go, this thing breaks down again, let's go ahead and talk about the other thing that we should talk about, and that is there is a new character from 3D Joe's. 3D Joe's is doing a new hardback omnibus, you could call it, of the artwork of G.I. Joe. It's going to have all new photographs, much sharper, much better. It's also going to have some information about pre-production. There's going to be a lot of new stuff in it. So if you have the six volume set of collecting the G.I. Joe from 3D Joe's ready, thank you, Yorktown Joe. Have a great evening. So if you already have the 6 volume set, it's going to give you, I think, better graphics. It's going to be an update, but it's not just new images. Apparently, it's going to have a lot more information in it as well. So if you have to look at it, and if you can back it, that is really awesome. 3D Joe's is a great website. Carson, the guy that runs it, really cool guy, does a lot for the community, does a lot for G.I. Joe, and he is making 3D Joe's the go-to site since Yojo kind of gone off the rails. So 3D Joe's is a website you should visit. And if you have a chance, check out the new Kickstarter and back that if you can. I did back it because it's going to have a ton of information that'll be great for research, for videos. So, yes, it's going to be big size. That's correct. Updated photos, better photos. He showed some updates of photos like side by side with the earlier editions, and it is significantly better. So I am looking forward to it, and so check that out if you can. How on time? I'll wrap it up here in just Photo Viper, you're late. It's okay. Thanks. I'm just glad you're here. Yeah. I'll wrap it up here and I apologize for technical difficulties. That's very frustrating. That doesn't happen on every live stream. It just happens occasionally. And it seems what I do to the hardware, to the software, to the websites, nothing seems to work. If it's having that issue, it's just going to have that issue all night. So again, I apologize. But thank you. Thank you for your patience. Almost everybody came over to new streams, so I appreciate everyone who did. But I think I am going to wrap it up. I just got back from a funeral before we started this. I am pretty tired, and I think I'm ready to crash now. So we are going to have a live stream next week, and it's going to be good. It's gonna be a good one. So please join me for that. If I have a chance, I may try to do like a bonus live stream for you guys, just to make up for the technical difficulties on this. So if I have any extra tweak, we may just do a bonus live stream. Thank you, Josiah. Please take a moment to subscribe to What's on Joe Mind. Hey, that's a good one. WOD What's on Joe Mind. I am always in the live chat for their live stream on Fridays. They would like to get some additional subscribers so they can get past the 1,000 subscriber mark. Please subscribe to them if you're not already. Rob says thanks for the pug. No problem. Pugs are adorable. I used to have a pug. Pugs are like they're little fuzzy, kind of chubby, short-nosed dogs. They're sweet dogs. You're welcome for the pug. I pugged the damn show. So now that I've hugged the damn show, I think I'm going to go. Paul plug. Yes. You're welcome for the plug too. That's anytime. But yeah, I think I'm done. I'm down for the count. I will catch you guys later. I'll try to make up for this later this week, and we will have another live stream next week. So thanks a lot, guys. I will say good night, and I will see you next time. Bye.